Hi, my name is Stan Stalnaker, and I'm the Chief Strategy Officer of Hub Culture, which is one of the world's longest running social networks. Today, I'm here to talk to you about a new project that we've been working on called AQUA. AQUA stands for the Active Quarantine User Ally, and it's a way for people to travel safer in the age of COVID. It's basically a system that allows you to put health and travel data into your own hands as a user, particularly around electronic quarantine. So quarantine is basically the isolation that needs to happen when you enter a country after traveling and potentially having been exposed to the virus. And so the way that all of this is emerging is that technology can help us to better manage our travel scenarios and our quarantine scenarios. But the way that we develop this technology is actually very important. And so Hub Culture, because we're focused on individual data ownership as a core principle within the network, really saw this opportunity coming around the way that we communicate technology and travel together in the context of COVID. And we felt that it was important that we work to develop solutions that put you, the end user, in control of your data and provide data ownership to you, the end user. But at the same time, realizing that various authorities and different groups need to be able to actually access some of that data and some of that information to be able to manage electronic or digital quarantine. And so the result of that effort is AQUA, and we partnered with the Hong Kong government and the Bermuda government to bring this project to life. Essentially, what happened was when COVID began in March of 2020, the Hong Kong government had developed a tracking system and a bracelet that would allow a person coming into Hong Kong to be able to have electronic quarantine management, to be able to go to their home and to quarantine for 14 days. And that information was then relayed through a cloud server to the government, and they basically manage and track that quarantine. Now, we wanted to take that technology and then flip it upside down and basically put you, the end user, in control of that data, that quarantine data. And so we did a partnership with Bermuda and with Hong Kong to bring AQUA to life as a global quarantine management system, but with you in charge of the data, with you having the ability to turn off or turn on the quarantine side, and with you being able to pull your data or close your data at the end of your quarantine period. And like many things in technology, this started a very early path that then led to other innovations and exciting enhancements to what AQUA is today. And that has allowed us to now bring it to hotels and resorts, to companies, to universities as a way of managing digital quarantine and aspects of your health data in the context of COVID, but again, keeping you in control. So let's take a little look at like what AQUA can do and like what it is. I'm going to go to a little bit of a screen share here and be able to share some of this with you. So the first thing I'm going to tell you about is how AQUA can keep you safer. So the system has a lot of different features that allow us to manage digital quarantine, health verifications, contact bubbles, and symptom reporting. So the unit, which I'm wearing right here, is like a wristband. It's like a smart concert band, and you use it one time, so it goes on to your wrist, and you would have to cut it off the way that you would a concert bracelet, but it will work for 30 days. And so it doesn't need charging or anything like that. It just has a small battery inside, and that sends a Bluetooth beacon signal back to the app and allows you to connect much the way you would connect a Bluetooth speaker or an Apple Watch to your phone. This basically connects via Bluetooth to your phone. The app itself has a lot of features that allow you to manage aspects of quarantine. So if you can see in the corner here, there is a bunch of little buttons and tiles here that allow you to manage aspects of your data experience with AQUA. And the first is basically pairing and linking the phone to the app and then setting your quarantine status, which I'll show you more of in a moment. The system has a human body sensor and a QR code. So when you scan the bracelet, it's unique to your digital Hub ID identity. It is very light, so you can wear it for a period of time, like a few weeks with no problem at all. It's actually very comfortable. And it's also waterproof. So if you're in a place where you need to go scuba diving, or maybe not scuba diving, but certainly surfing, showers, swimming, all totally fine with this device. It's been developed by the Hub Culture team, which is spread all around the world, in the United States, the United Kingdom, Bermuda, India, Hong Kong, Germany, even in Hawaii. And we already have about 1,200 people actively quarantining with AQUA all around the world. Hub has been around for over 16 years, so we have a long track record as a purveyor of consumer technology, and we have a very active and wonderful group of about 60,000 members within Hub Culture who are using our community for a variety of different things, now including AQUA. Now, I think we need to set some expectations here. AQUA is not a silver bullet for managing everything around COVID, but it does really help provide more data around quarantine management and the experience of a person when they're entering, say, a new country or a place where they need to quarantine, maybe in their workplace or with a group of people. It creates threads of data. There are about a dozen threads of data that go into the monitoring side, and this creates a fabric. So a person is not going to be perfectly compliant on every component at all times, but it does provide a snapshot and a picture of how a person is performing with regard to their quarantine. And it has the ability to provide feedback and nudges and encouragement for a person under quarantine to be able to follow the rules that have been set for that particular location or community. And we're really using the idea of Kaizen, community development and community feedback, to continuously evolve and improve the experience that a person has with AQUA. So we really like to think that AQUA does three things. It helps you travel hassle-free. It helps you manage your health information, and it helps you manage your quarantine. And those are really important aspects of the travel experience today. And we really wanted to make sure that you, the end user, would be able to own that information and own that process of setting up your quarantine with regard to the locations that you go to. You can even move quarantine. So if you go from, say, Japan to Hawaii, you would be able to set your location for quarantine at your space in Hawaii and be able to quarantine or isolate in a particular location according to the local regulations. But then when you went back to Japan, you could like remove your Hawaii quarantine and then set up your Japan quarantine so that you can use the same technology, the same identity, the same app, and even the same wearable bracelet to be able to manage that experience in multiple places. The system basically connects you. It allows you to pair your bracelet to your phone and then be able to manage your quarantine. You can also connect with your doctor and request a health verification like a COVID PCR test from your doctor. And if you already have one, you can upload it to the system, ask your doctor to verify it, and then get a verified health result on the backside. It also is helpful for verifications after you pass quarantine. So when your monitor or your authority for the location that you're quarantining in graduates you through the program, you are then able to get a graduation certificate that you can use to show that you've passed quarantine and are essentially negative. So very, very helpful for managing all that health data that you need to manage. You can also input symptoms and that kind of thing, either through the web. So if you're on your desktop or laptop, you can go into your account and add information, or you can do it through the app itself. And that symptom tracking and verification system exists both in the cloud and on the app. So you can see here a little bit of the view of like what a monitor would see. They can tell if your quarantine is off or on. They can see the location. They can see the phone signal, the wearable signal, the battery. And your monitor is able to message you, to send a message if they need you to do something or to check something on the phone, or if they've noticed that perhaps you've wandered a little bit outside of your quarantine location. They can also send automated alerts that will go directly to your desktop to allow you to just manage your quarantine better. That's always really helpful. You can see like overall analytics as a monitor of locations where people are quarantining. And if people have broken quarantine, you're able to see the distance by which they've actually broken it and get a sense of where they went. So as a user, you can actually see some of this information yourself as well, which helps you to just remember to to abide by the quarantine rules. Practitioners and doctors are able to sign up and build a practice so that you can actually issue a bunch of information, even conversations in telemedicine between a group of people in your practice, and be able to manage that in a really exciting way. There's also integrated support. So if you need to file a request or you have a question, you can do that pretty easily just right inside the app. So some of the things you need to do to make sure that this works are to set up a bunch of permissions on your phone for AQUA to be able to access Bluetooth and GPS, and to keep the phone awake, things like that. You need to always leave the phone plugged in whenever possible, because it can actually take quite a bit of data to be sending out all those signals all the time. And it needs to be about 20% for those signals to arrive reliably. You need to check in regularly on your iPhone to make sure that the app is open and functioning, and to be sure that your GPS and Bluetooth is actually transmitting. And then you'll want to basically check alerts both on your phone as a user or as a monitor. So you can get in touch with us to kind of discuss some of these things and to look at customizations for the system. But we really are excited about the potential that this provides for a person. So you can see here that I got my AQUA running, and I've got my Wearable running on the background here. And these two things are really connected. Now, I actually turned off quarantine a minute ago, but if I want to turn it back on, I just come in here and it finds my location. I can select my country, which in this case is the United States. And then I can select the location where I'm at. So in my case, I'm currently in Hawaii, where we're using AQUA to help hotels and resorts reopen, which is great because we're helping those guys get back into business and to be able to take guests across these like large resorts here. You can actually set out a geolocation for any size. It could be an entire city, it could be a neighborhood, it could be a resort for a few acres or something like that. I pick, in this case, the hotel or resort that I'm staying at, and then I can put in the address as well. So this goes into the system, got all my information here, and then I just click Start Quarantine. It asks me to confirm, and then there I go. And when I then come back and look at my dashboard, I will then see my wearables and location coming into that space. So AQUA is really designed to help you travel safer, to have a better experience traveling, and to put you in control of the data that is now kind of a requirement for the way that we travel, and to help you be able to manage that in a better way. If you have any questions about how to access the system, it is free to use. So you can go to theaqua.world or aqua.vacations to sign up and get access to some of the features, or you can download the app from the iOS or Android app stores to be able to use it. To get a bracelet, you need to be part of a program. And if you're a location or a monitor, we just urge you to get in touch with us to see about the 2-week order time that it takes to be able to get bracelets in hand. So we hope that this can be helpful in connecting you and connecting people to be able to restart international travel and to be able to travel safer. It's a core principle of hub culture that we are global people, and we don't want to compromise on that global lifestyle and the ability to be connected and engaging with people around the world. We just have to approach it now in a slightly different way. We want to make sure that as an end user, your data privacy and your data rights are not compromised in this new world that we're entering. So we encourage you to check out AQUA and consider it as a solution to help reopen your country, to help reopen your company, your hotel or resort, and to actually do it safely with the data privacy interests of the end user at the heart of the service. So thanks very much. We look forward to hearing from you soon.